Something I want to ask you before we get into this as well. I know people have different belief systems for as dogs, working dogs, pet home dogs. I've always been taught to try to breed for the total dog, and the total dog should be able to fit in the family. What are your thoughts about your dogs going to family homes?
Man, that's a great question. That's something that we hear all the time.
Mhm.
You know, dogs in family homes. This is pretty new in the world because America's so wealthy and blessed. So
Mhm.
throughout the history of the world, dogs worked well. They worked stock. They did their jobs, and they were good in the homes
Mhm.
as well. And the thing about hunting dogs is what people don't realize is they want to please their master so badly. It's like my mama, she got two little fief dogs in her house. I
Mhm.
call them fiefs. They're like this tall. Let me
Yeah.
get over here. They're like
Yeah.
this tall. They don't give a hoot about pleasing her. They don't give it. They have no job, and I'm not against that. You
Right.
know, but if that's what you do, man, that's great. But these
Mhm.
dogs that are built to work, that means they're built to please. They're built to serve. And these dogs that work for me, they get a deep sense of loyalty, and they work out really good in the homes where
Mhm.
they bond with the family because they're used to a team unit. They're used to having to work, and so like our dogs, if they don't do well in the field, if they don't do well with other dogs, then if they don't pass on my criteria, then they don't ever get reproduced here. And my criteria is stiff, and so long before these dogs are ever bred and reproduced, they got to go and catch a hog and then immediately turn it off and take a picture with a child and come home and get in my shower and let me bathe them and lay on the couch.
Right.
And they got to know how to do a job and how to handle it, up here. And
Mhm.
what I tell people is if you're not working your dogs and you have a capable dog, sometimes you really don't know what they're going to do in a high pressured situation.
Mhm.
Like some people, they get in a high pressure situation and they freak out. That's why social media is viral,
Yeah.
in this day and time.
Yeah.
But the dogs that are level headed, because they have been in so many high pressure situations, it makes them actually they can differentiate things in the home better. It's like they know what a high pressured situation is, and so then when they're at the home and the family, they don't panic unless you start panicking and there's a bad guy in the house, and then they can get pretty serious then.